Wanna play Bop It?
Cool.
It commands, you obey.
Bop it. Bop. Bop.
Toys. They're supposed to bring joy, spark imagination, and create memories that last a lifetime. But what if a toy, a seemingly innocent childhood gift, held a secret so dangerous, it could cost you your life? How could something designed for fun turn into a lifelong nightmare? Christmas morning, 2007. You're just a kid. You're sitting in front of the tree, hoping to open exactly what you asked for. Present after present, and it's still not there. Did Santa not get my list? Was I bad? Dad pulls one more present from under the tree. Is that it? You slowly tear open the wrapping paper and scream out loud, exactly what I wanted. A CSI fingerprint examination kit. Time went by. It's now 2024. You're 25 years old and you've spent the last 3 months in the hospital. You struggle to breathe every day, and the doctor was just in the room and told you only had 2 months to live. But how could a toy, a childhood source of fun and excitement, bring you here? Released in 2007, the CSI Fingerprint Examination Kit was marketed to kids as an exciting way to investigate like a real crime scene investigator. Packed with tools, powders, and instructions, it encouraged children to examine objects for fingerprints and gather clues, something every curious kid would dream of. But not known to parents, there was something far more sinister inside. The toy's powder, marketed as safe and educational, was laced with something far from innocent. Asbestos.
You'll find a scene like this in nearly every village, town, and city throughout the country.
And we'll have the living room right in here. And the kitchen right here, so we can see the children.
This man could tell you a lot about asbestos now. If only he'd known asbestos is so dangerous, he needed a respirator and other protective devices to be safe. If only every worker and employer knew that the asbestos installed in the past is still there today, and if only there were a cure.
Which has made buildings safer and more durable. It was natural that the scientists would turn to asbestos, for this is a remarkable mineral. Actually stone, it is made up of tiny but extremely strong and flexible fibers. Strong and tough, it could be handled and applied like ordinary shingles. It was given every conceivable test, every conceivable test, every conceivable test, every conceivable test.
Asbestos, a highly valued material known for its heat resistance and insulating properties, was widely used in products such as insulation, roofing, fireproofing, cement, and even household items such as toasters and ironing boards. What makes asbestos so deadly is its microscopic fibers. When disturbed, the fibers become airborne, invisible to the naked eye, and become nearly impossible to avoid inhaling. Once inside the body, these fibers lodge in the lungs and other tissues, causing chronic inflammation and scarring. Over time, sometimes even decades, asbestos exposure can lead to fatal diseases like lung cancer, mesothelioma, and asbestosis. There's no safe level of exposure, and once the damage is done, it's irreversible. August 2007. The CSI Fingerprint Examination Kit hit store shelves across the United States and Canada in massive quantities. 2 months later, the US Consumer Product Safety Commission received alarming safety reports. They promptly tested the product and discovered that the fingerprint powder contained high levels of asbestos. Even worse, as much as 7% of the powder contained tremolate asbestos, one of the deadliest forms. How could something so dangerous end up in a toy designed for children? The recall came quickly, but it was far too late. By then, the danger had already seeped into countless homes. Families that bought the kit early and never heard about the recall probably gave it to their kid for Christmas. A disaster is an understatement. So what about all the kids that have already been exposed? What would happen to them? Well, that's the thing about asbestos. You never really know. It's disturbing the amount of people I found on Reddit who had this product when they were kids. Some of them even said that it's somewhere in their old bedroom's closet. Some said they never opened it, but some said they played with it all the time. Hey, my sister had that. Oh, my kids actually have this set and play with the powder all the time. What action should I take? I've never heard of the recall until now. Oh, I think I have that. Dude, I bought tons of those for a camp I worked at. They were like 20 bucks a piece at Michael's. I totally had one of these. I used this a ton and got the fingerprint powder majorly airborne at one point when I dropped and fumbled for the container a few times. Definitely inhaled it. What the f? This is still in my bedroom. I played with it when I was 8. It's a little eerie looking back on these posts over 10 years later and just wondering if any of these people ever began experiencing symptoms from exposure. Was this all part of some sick plan by the manufacturer? Did anyone think of the actual consequences of putting such a harmful substance inside of a children's toy? Or was the profit the only thing that mattered? The real mystery was just that. The ones who let it happen. Manufacturers, suppliers, and corporations who knew about the risk but kept it quiet. Their silence meant more sales, but for some, it would mean years of suffering decades later. Far too late to do anything about it. The manufacturers of the CSI fingerprint examination kit, Planet Toys Incorporated, faced significant fallout after the asbestos discovery. Following a massive recall in 2007, lawsuits ensued filed by parents alleging harm to their children. Planet Toys declared bankruptcy in 2008, effectively shielding itself from further litigation and ceasing operations entirely. The case highlighted the dire consequences of inadequate safety checks, which, as you could probably expect, left a lasting mark on consumer trust in toy safety regulations. So what does it say about a system that fails to protect its most vulnerable? Our kids are our lives. We put trust in these companies to give our children an escape, a learning opportunity, and to create memories. How can such a product have existed in modern times? It wasn't the first time a seemingly innocent toy turned out to be a health hazard, and it probably won't be the last. But the CSI fingerprint examination kit was particularly chilling, because it wasn't just a toy gone wrong, it was a toy that promised to uncover hidden clues, without ever revealing the most dangerous clue of all: the one inside the powder itself.